Oh.
I was going to say, maybe you don't remember this one because you finished it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we went up the hill and there was the castle. Cassima remembered us and we just went on our merry way. The end. I'm sure there'll be no problems.
Apparently she's lonely for some reason. Or something.
It's a theme in this game. Should we head up the hill to the castle?
Yeah, if you don't want to try,
well, I don't know.
Bookstore.
I do, I mean, I'm not going to say we're never going in there.
Oh, you just want to prioritise.
Old lamp.
Yeah, just was going to progress.
Alright, yeah, sounds good to me.
Because I feel...
Find the puzzle first.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to go... Can I leave? Ah, there we go.
I was going to say is, this is still a Sierra game during Sierra times.
Oh, there'll be deaths.
Right, so...
I will fall off something in a bit. Don't worry.
Now you should have full control.
They'll still manage to find a way to have me fall off.
With your full mouse control, you'll just walk off of something.
Well, in theory it should be paths and hot spots, really, but they'll do something to ruin my day. Interesting.
Dog.
No strangers may enter the castle of the crown.
Well, but I'm here for your...
Excuse me, guardsmen. Guard dogs. I've been traveling for months to see Princess Cassima. I would like an audience, please.
I'm sorry, but the princess is not receiving visitors, particularly not strangers.
I really must see the princess. Could I speak with someone in charge?
Who are you that I should bother Captain Saladin, huh?
My
That's
name
a good
is
sounding
Alexander.
name.
I am a prince of Daventry and a friend of the princess.
A prince, is it? I see. Yeah, and I am lord of this dusty path. Step aside. You'll not be getting into this castle without some proof of your claims.
I've got some proof.
A royal signet ring.
Tutorial mission.
Alexander decides to try his royal insignia ring on the guards. With all of his papers lost in the shipwreck, it is the only possible proof of his identity that he can think of.
Bring his passport. What?
Perhaps this ring will
Papers.
convince you of my identity.
He always wanders around with
It is
papers.
the royal insignia ring of Daventry.
Ha! I'm sure. Just let me take a look at that ring. Well, I'm sorry, Your Highness. It's just that princesses are so uncommon in these parts. Let me get Captain Saladin.
You've not heard of Daventry.
No.
They've not heard
Yeah,
of
they're like-
Daventry.
It's a cautionary tale for other kingdoms. Oh.
The guard returns a moment later with a majestic-looking creature. Captain Saladin speaks with a voice that is gentle, but reflects a will of iron.
Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country, but I'm sure Wazir Al-Hazred will want to meet you, if indeed you are a friend of the princess. Please, follow me.
Why do we all have to see a bunch of other people?
Because this is how this bureaucracy works. We're in now,
Lord
which means we're going to
Al-Hazred,
get
a visitor
absolutely
to
wrecked
see
for
you.
some reason.
Prince Alexander of Daventry.
What is it that you seek, Prince Alexander?
Pardon the intrusion, my lord, but I came to see Princess Cassima. Some months ago, my father, King Graham, saved my family and I from imprisonment under an evil wizard named Mordak.
Oh no.
The same wizard that kidnapped the princess?
Exactly. When my father rescued us, he also liberated Cassima and sent her home.
Then your father has my gratitude, and that of the entire kingdom. But I'm afraid I still fail to see the purpose of your visit.
Bone time.
Well, I came to make sure that Cassima arrived safely and to pay my respects. Before we parted, she gave me an invitation to visit.
I have no doubt she did exactly that at the time, Prince Alexander. However, things have greatly changed for Cassima since her ordeal in Mordak's castle. Cassima's parents both became ill and died while she was gone. Cassima is sequestered in mourning for them as befits a princess. She is not receiving visitors of any kind. Even if she were, I do not think your visit would be appropriate. You see, it is time for Cassima to take her responsibilities seriously. With her parents gone, she no longer has the luxury to be a carefree maiden. As was her parents' wish, Cassima and I are to be wed. We shall rule the kingdom together. I assure you, our marriage is all Cassima wants now. As a prince and a gentleman, it would be best that you leave before there is any further embarrassment.
I see. I suppose that I was mistaken. I thought for certain that Cassima... Well, I apologize.
A young man sees what he wishes to see. I'm sorry you've wasted your time traveling to the land of the Green Isles. May your journey home be swift.
Perhaps I will take the opportunity to look around your fair land while I'm here.
I would advise against that. The kingdom is rather, shall we say, inhospitable these days. But it is your neck. You may risk it if you please. Captain Saladin will escort you from the castle. Good day.
Why did he have his sword slightly out?
He's ready. He's ready to start.
You have had your hearing with Vizier Alhazred. I trust you will respect his wishes and not return. I have been instructed not to let you into the castle again. Good day, my lord.
Captain Saladin whispers something to the guard dogs at the castle gate, and they nod with understanding.
I want to know what he said.
Don't let him in.
Alexander has a feeling they won't be letting him into the castle again.
I assume.
Could have been something else.
So if he says the secret
Please,
passcode.
If you'll only be reasonable. I really must see the princess.
Begone! You're not welcome at the castle, Prince Alexander of Daventry. We have our orders, and they are quite clear.
That accent doesn't really gel with the other ones.
I really like that one.
Okay, well... I
There's
was
a side path, maybe.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd get some goal. Other than, I presume, to just break in.
I guess we might get a goal. It might be one of those goals that appear after we start leaving.
Oh my god,
maybe
this is
get a
tedious.
vision or something.
Yeah.
I assume we just can't leave that way. How do you know?
I don't.
Bar than the
Oh,
path.
no, I can't. Just have to click it exactly the right way. I wonder if I should save.
It feels only right to save.
I think that is a way up.
The
It does
side
look
of the castle
climbable.
is one big blank wall.
It's not. It's got a tree here.
The vines are too flimsy to support Alexander.
Come on, man. He didn't even try.
I mean, admittedly, they do seem quite flimsy.
I expected him to be like
The
Spider-Man.
narrow path ends abruptly at a pile of boulders.
Okay. Maybe we need to thicken these.
Strengthen them
Yeah, using...
with some kind of magical device.
Yeah. Or fertilizer. Instant fertilizer. What's in here?
Can't be a whole thing, can it? Does it? Is it?
What's this purpose?
So you can hide away from them.
I'm on guard now.
You can stand in there and transform into something.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be like you need a spot that they can't see what you're up to. Okay, well, that was fun.
Alright, left we go then,
Yep.
I guess. I mean, they speak like there's a way for him to get away from the island. He hasn't got a boat.
Mm.
You know, like he had no real choice to explore, but to explore the rest of the land. Really.
Yeah, it was really weird. Some of this conversation around the boats doesn't make sense to me, because some of them are acting like there's still a boat somewhere.
Yeah, perhaps there were a fleet.
Oh, maybe.
Boats.
Old lamps for new.
Okay.
Old
Okay.
But I don't know, do you
Hello?
tend to...
I will be right up.
Do I tend to what?
Now, what can I do for you?
Yeah, do you tend to describe your... Like, the men that you're employed, but on a different boat as your crew?
I mean, I've never
Is
been
that
in that
still-
situation.
do you
I
think-
don't know. I only
think
saw one
that
boat,
counts?
so that's...
I only saw one boat. I mean, I just assume his crew are
There's a
dead.
small table near the door that bears a sign. The sign has undergone a number of changes. It once read 10 pence, but that was crossed out and replaced with 5 pence, then 1 pence, then free. The sign currently reads, "Take one, please." Only
Oh, what did that say?
I don't know.
Only one
there's
was
a small
left.
only one book
Ah.
remains on the table. It looks like the bookshop owner really wants to get rid of that book.
Oh, lucky you. I really want a free book.
Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please, take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks.
What's wrong with this book?
Alexander is carrying a book from the bargain table in the bookshop. Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
Normal thing to do.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 and an eighth bottles of wild beast lard.
Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly.
Alright, we've got a boring book.
Book to send someone to sleep.
Yeah.
That's good.
What about this
What about
cool-
that book?
There's a book entitled The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages on the small table in the reading area. It appears that some regular customer likes that book.
How does that appear to be the
An
case?
old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
Oh.
The bookshop owner is a thin, middle-aged man. His intelligent eyes are slightly blurry from long nights spent reading by candlelight.
His eyes are blurry.
Yes.
Doesn't that mean we have a problem? Like we're looking at
No.
him and his
No,
eyes are blurry.
No, his eyes are blurry. That's how blurred vision works. Your eyes become blurry.
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this land. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
That is quite a question, young man. Who are you, and what would you have me tell you?
That's not how
My name
questions
is
work.
Alexander. I know I am on the Isle of the Crown.
A question
but I'd
for
like
a
to know
question.
whatever you can tell me
We
about this
stack
island.
questions up and we answer in
There
that
are
order
other islands
afterwards.
nearby.
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is the man who knows not the customs of the land beneath his feet. This island is called the Isle of the Crown, because the royal family's castle is here. Besides the castle, we also have this village, and the docks over to the west. There are at least 3 other islands. The Isle of the Sacred Mountain,
Why did you
the
say it that
Isle
way?
of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a fourth island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself
So there are 4 islands.
Yeah, there are 4
the land of
islands.
the Green Isles.
No one knows.
exist on the boundaries
No
of
one
this
knows,
world
but there's
and
4.
the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman
But they sleep
can tell
well.
you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
Thank you kindly, merchant, for all your good advice.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
What an oblique man.
I like how everyone is sage-style advice giving.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
crappy
NPCs.
advice. Why would he tell us to go to the castle when no one is allowed to see anyone there?
Hmm.
And he told us there might be 3 or 4 islands.
At least 3, and at most 4.
Yeah, and it's perfectly safe, but also incredibly dangerous.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander. For some inexplicable reason, Alexander feels compelled to avoid this hooded old man.
Don't touch him.
Just wanted to give him a little prod.
Stop trying to touch him. The game doesn't want you to.
He's giving us the side eye. Look, you'll see his tiny little yellow eye. Soon. Oh, he's not looking at us anymore. Look at me. There.
There you go.
Oh! Can I take his eye?
What? You want to take his eye? We had a shiny eye guy in the meeting with the vizier.
Yeah, we did the genie, right? He looked like a genie.
Yeah.
He had shiny eyes. Do you think the genie shiny eye guy is this guy? Take his eye.
For some
Oh, damn it.
Perhaps. I'm more thinking that maybe there's like some kind of magic that someone can view through other people's eyes.
Alexander can't do
Oh.
Or something like that. I mean, I also think it might just be, you know,
The genie.
just an aesthetic thing that they've decided to add.
That people around these parts just have really shiny eyes. Okay.
Just something to draw your focus, I guess.
Alexander doesn't want to intrude on...
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you 1,000,000 times, those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you! You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning! And get your veil back on! No one wants to look at your face!
Yes, stepmother.
Right.
He must have gotten
Alexander
flashbacks then
can't-
to when
Alexander
Mannanan
doesn't want
used
to
to tell him to
intrude
do
Oh,
those
yeah.
shots.
He should, yeah. He should be, trying to stop that. Is this a way? Is that a fence?
It
Can't
might be a
see.
fence. It might be a bridge. I think it's a fence.
I can't see.
This is where you wish you could still
Yeah,
use the
cursors.
use the arrow. Yeah. Use the arrows to move.
This is annoying. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to struggle with that all
Hey,
game.
stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Do we want... He's got a glinty eye as well.
Come on,
Maybe
jump
that's just
in.
them
A
then.
little water won't hurt you.
I think they're the glinty-eyed ones.
Oh, the
A
dodgy
young
ones.
boy is happily...
Yeah. Just go away, Glint.
That's strange. The young boy in the water just disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water.
Yeah, perhaps.
We've worked out the theme of the bad guys.
Yeah, don't trust anyone with a shiny single eye.
Too many knocks.
Yeah, what do you want?
Just a chat.
Alexander promises himself that he will not go...
What?
Alexander...
Excuse
What?
me. My name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent you? I can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be all right if Allie sent you. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside. What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you said outside. What is it you want to know?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
Huh. It just ain't safe to sail these days. What with the islands feuding and all. Wazir Al-Hazred ordered the ferry closed till things settled down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
But
Hey,
why are the islands feuding?
You got me.
Look here.
About stolen property or some such thing. 'Tis a real
Classic.
shame. Things used to be so friendly.
Then this unrest is recent.
A few years is all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing? This ferry's been out of water so long she's no longer even seaworthy. Her boards have dry rot. She'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map. The owner of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
What's that thing on the table?
A table is positioned in front of two plain wooden chairs. The table, there's a rabbit's foot on the table. There's nothing of interest.
I see you have a rabbit's foot. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old charm. Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me good fortune at last.
Perhaps it will at that. Thank you.
Yay, item.
Tell me more about the ferry.
I remember when I used to ferry Queen Ilaria and Princess Cassima themselves. There was no thought of danger back then. They used to go visiting to care for the needy and to keep up the friendly relations between the islands. I remember their last trip. Things had started getting nasty by then, and when they came back aboard, I gathered that the Queen and the Princess had been received a bit coldly. Princess Cassima was such a pretty thing, and she was terribly upset. But who could be spreading these lies, she asked the Queen, but the Queen had no answer.
What do you do now that the ferry no longer operates?
Me? I'm out of a job. The job my ancestors have held for generations. I'm the only one trained to avoid the reef and the rocks. But that knowledge does me no good now.
Is there no other boat on the island? One that might be more seaworthy?
Boats don't last long on these shoals, as you may have found out if you got here by ship. You can be quite sure that this old ferry is, or was, the only craft on the island.
Tell me more about Princess Cassima.
Ah, such a beautiful child, and so pure of heart. Why, a contrary thought has never crossed her mind.
Her mother was the same. The king and queen. They served the islands, not the other way around. Always thinking about the people. They are sorely missed.
What else can you tell me about the land?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but unfortunately, you can't get very far onto the island.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The inhabitants of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain are the most gorgeous creatures you'll ever see. If you ever get to see them, that is.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Castle of the Crown sure is a beauty. She's the finest palace ever built, I'll warrant.
Oh, that's gotta be enough.
Well,
Oh, shake hands.
Thanks for allowing me into your home.
Posh, not at all. It breaks the boredom, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean? Oh dear.
Right. To the pawn shop, I guess. Find out about this magic map.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what happened to our ability to turn into an eagle?